Hi guys, so we're back here again, and today we're going to be trying to generate textures procedurally. This is going to be something new. Let's get on with it. So first, we are going to create a new C# script. It's going to be we're going to call it these textures are going to be doing something like ellipse proc text tool. So this is going to be a ellipse procedural texture tool. If you look at them, they are kind of like a ellipse that's been stretched over this part, and it's not only a ellipse, like a pink ellipse, but it also has some like ellipse like if this is a circle, the circumference, like these ellipse lines here that you also get. I mean, we're gonna be making it simpler. We're gonna be using only 2 or 3 of these lines, which may not have the same center and may not have the same radii, but we are gonna be using something similar. But we'll start doing only the pink ellipse, and later we'll do the rest. So let's go with it. This tool generates textures procedurally that contain ellipse shapes that simulate the textures used in the reference effect. Again, this is the editor. It's going to be an editor tool. I don't want to differentiate between public and private, and I want editor methods. There we go. So we're not going to be doing preview rendering here, and at least not in we're not going to be doing the preview rendering here in the scene. So we don't want the scene part, but we do want some of the other stuff, like this and this. So this is going to be a ellipse procedural texture tool, and yes, give it the same name, why not? So this is going to be like this. Go. This is going to be a little bit bigger. Let's make it say 600 and 600 too. Yeah. So what are we gonna need here? We're gonna need a private static, a float, and it's gonna be fill ellipse radius 1 and radius 2. This is going to be no point. Say this is for the x, 0.5, and this is for the y, 0.3, whatever. Oh, private static int width, which 124 for instance. Private static int height 512 for instance. So this is the size of the let's make it smaller for starters, maybe, I guess. Yeah. This is the size of the texture that we're going to be using, when generating, and probably we want to have something like private texture to the texture, which is going to be null. So in here we're gonna the first thing we're gonna show is the texture. We're gonna leave some space for the texture. We will see how we do it. Yeah, but and then the parameters that control the generated texture. So again, this is just width is editor GUI layout. Oh wait, by the way, editor GUI layout separator. Int field texture width height texture height. Then the parameters fill ellipse radius 1 is going to be editor GUI layout. Slider is going to be filled ellipse radius 1. It's going to be filled ellipse radius 1. It's going to go from 0 to 1. Oh, we need the color. Which, for instance, is going to be pink, red, green, blue. Yeah, something like that. We'll probably change these colors later, but anyway. So, yeah. But, well, let's copy these, because radius 2 is going to be just the same, but with a 2 here. And call is going to be editor GUI layout, color fill ellipse color, ellipse color. Yeah. Okay. And finally, so a button to refresh the texture. We may change this later so that when things change, we refresh this automatically. But for the time being, we just use a button. Basically, we're gonna need a method that generates the texture with the parameters in the tool. So we gotta generate texture. When generating the texture, we are actually saving it to file. So that means that we are going to need the name, which is gonna be for instance by default proc texture, and folder. The folder is gonna be assets art textures. But we are gonna be deciding that it is gonna be a PNG. No, in any case, so we're gonna be using PNG for the file type. text. Okay. So text name is editor query layouts, text field, texture name, text folder. How we're gonna be doing the folder? Yes, exactly with the same. Exactly the same thing we've done here. We could actually even, again, don't like to write things twice. So and we return folder. So basically, this is like yep, this is like showing the text field in the folder. So coming folder there, so everything is clearer. I think it's all right. Yeah. So we could use the mesh creation editor window. Oh, this is protected. It should be public. And folder. Yep. So let's see. Let's see what happens. So here we are. That's good. Seems like it is working. Yep, I like it. Good. So here the first thing we're gonna do is if texture is not null, let's do a destroy immediate texture. Yeah, and we create a new texture. We create a new texture. So texture is new texture 2D, width, height, texture format. It's gonna be ARGB 32 and no mid chain. That's good. Then generate it procedurally and save it to the assets. So in the assets, so again we're gonna bit again, since we're not doing it twice, we're just we're gonna be doing something like this, but it's not exactly that. Yeah, that's private void save texture to assets, to file actually, because we're gonna save it to file. So actually the texture to file with a specified, with the name is being specified in the texture to file is specified in the tool. So we're specifying the tool in, sorry, the name of the tool, and the texture is something we create here. So we're gonna be saving the file directly using the file, the system IO. Functions. So we're gonna do a try. We're gonna catch an exception. But that we're using the system. If we catch an exception, we debug log error format. We're gonna say exception error while saving the procedural texture to file. And here we put the name of the file and the error. So string path string file name is going to be a text name class.png. The path is going to be path combine folder file name. So that's it. And yeah. So get the bytes to save to file. So basically the texture has some functions to encode its contents in different formats. So we can encode to JPG, EXR, which is a format that we want to use if we have HDR textures, TGA and PNG. So we're going to be using PNG for the time being. And we use the file, say write all bytes, and we set the path and the bytes. And if everything went correctly, so a success message. Debug log format successfully saved texture to file so many bytes. So it's path, contents, length. Good. So even though we're not doing any procedural generation yet, at least we do have all this structure to create the texture and save it to file, which is good. Yep. Let's see if it actually works, even if it's slightly. So art materials, let's create a folder called textures. So yeah, this actually, okay, seems to be working. If I pick another one, it appears here, yeah. If I pick the right one, textures, yeah. So if I do refresh texture, oh yeah, I forgot to do something because I didn't refresh the assets, and that is a problem. Yeah. So We can refresh the assets even if there was an error. So asset database refresh. So good. Let's see. Remove that one. Cool. Yeah, it's great. Good. Good. So, yep. We have now to generate the texture. Private void generate rock texture. Generates the bytes and fills the texture with them based on the parameters in the tool. Okay. So, we're gonna be doing a very simple one. So, well, first let's generate the bytes, the sort of pixels. Width times height. Okay. Now we're gonna have to check for every pixel if it's inside or outside the ellipse, the fill ellipse. So for int iy is 0, iy lower than height plus iy. For int ix is 0, ix lower than width plus ix. So float y is going to be float by y divided by float height minus 1. And float x is going to be float ix divided by float with minus 1. Okay, so that way we have the position x and y normalized. Oh, which reminds me, we forgot to set the center of the ellipse. There we go. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a function that returns whether a pixel is within a certain ellipse or not. Inside ellipse. So, so actually no, we're gonna create a new one which is called float, and it's distance to ellipse, and we're gonna pass a vector to center, float radius 1, float radius 2. Okay, instead of radius 1 and radius 2, we're gonna call radius x and radius y. Returns the distance and the position. from the position to the ellipse. If the point is inside the ellipse, this distance will be negative. So basically we have different radius for the different axes, for different angles. So how do we do this? We can calculate the distance. So we can calculate the angle for this point, and based on that angle, we calculate the radius. But I'm not sure that's the right way. So let's check. Ellipse equation. So yeah, that's position of square equals something. So this is the standard form. Thing is, how can we calculate the distance to the ellipse? Let's see. Let's see if we can find something here. So basically, distance, ellipses, ellipse. So yeah, ellipse, center, major axis, minor axis, eccentricity. Damn it, this is not what I'm looking for. Okay, so I've been taking a look at the maths and looking a little bit on the internet, and we're not going to be calculating the distance for the ellipse in the most strict terms, but instead what we're going to be calculating is what is the radius of the ellipse and the direction of that position, and we're going to be then calculating whether this distance is lower than the distance from the point to the center or not. So the first thing is that float this to center is going to be vector 2 there to center is going to be pos minus center. If there to center square magnitude is lower than epsilon, then we return already minus 0.5 times radius x plus radius y. If we are in the center, let's check if we are in the center. If we're in the center, we use the average of the radii, and yeah, and we don't because this algorithm is not going to work if the there to center is 0 or near 0. We calculate the angle of the direction. With the angle, we calculate the radius at that angle. This this formula is something that you can calculate yourself if you want, by doing some maths, basically using the ellipse formula, which is x squared divided by a, where a, by the way, is the radius x and b is radius y. And this, so an x and y are the distances to the center. So yeah, you can calculate that. This x squared divided by a squared plus y squared divided by b squared is 1, equals 1, and that, and the and some basic Pythagoras, where x is the radius times the cosine of the angle, and y is the radius times the sine of the angle, and if you combine those, you end up with this equation. So r is going to be radius x times radius y divided by math f sqrt. Let's calculate the squares already. Float b2 is going to be radius y times radius y. Float a2 is going to be radius x times x. Okay. So it's going to be b2 times the cosine and the sine. It is going to make it quicker. So it's the cosine of the angle plus a2 times the sine of the angle. That's it. And now, finally, calculate the distance sine. So, float this to center is going to be dip to center magnitude. Float d is going to be this to center minus r, return d. So this is gonna be helping us calculate whether we are inside or not. So basically, what we're gonna be doing here is, if distance to ellipse, new vector to xy, fill ellipse center. Actually, let's do this. P is vector to xy. Fill ellipse center. Radius 1. Fill ellipse radius 2 is lower than 0, lower than 0. Then we use the pink color. So by default, the color is going to be 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, so no. And then C is fill ellipse color. Actually, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get private color, get pixel color. I'll explain why later. IX and IY. So returns the color to use for the given pixel, and we actually let's do it like this, and let's calculate this here. That's how you see, and then we simply do pixels dot and index is iy times width plus ix. Index is gonna be a get pixel color ix iy. Yeah. By default, the color is transparent. Check if it's inside the fill ellipse. Yep. No, I think we're gonna go with this being X and Y. This being a float X and this being a float Y. I'll explain why later, because we may be later doing some anti-aliasing, and we'll need to do several checks for this get pixel color with a slightly different X and Y. So yeah, this seems fair enough. Let's see what happens when we use this. Oh, sorry, not that there. So ellipse procedural tool. Yes, this refresh texture. Doesn't seem to be called. Yeah. Yeah. If we don't call the function, it's not going to be doing anything. That's for sure. Let's start again. Well, oh, that's right. Yeah, we're generating the pixels, and we're not doing anything with them. Yeah. Let's see now. Oh yeah, better. Not working, but lots better. At least we've got something. So position, the center, the radius. I'm kind of curious. Let's see what this does when we press in here. So what is the angle that we just calculated? So this is going to be minus 0.5 minus 0.5, which is right. The angle is that one. This is minus 135, which is fair, because yeah, that's the cosine of the angle. This is 45 degrees negative. Fair enough. So the radius here is, according to this, not a number. Oh, great. That's right. Because we need, because we are working with cosine and sine, and we need to work with squares. That's right. So Let's see what happens now. Better, lots better. So we're gonna do one last thing before we wrap up for today, which is try to show this texture up here. So I don't know if there is a queer layout. Targoi. Draw texture alpha. The texture transparent. Position, texture image, scale mode. Rect position could be a new rect. Say 15. And we're gonna give it, let's say this 600. It's gonna be 600. That'll be minus 512. It'll be 88. So 44. 512. So this is not, yeah, let's see, 256.0. This is going to be the size of the texture. Then the texture, which is texture, scale mode, scale and crop, scale to fit. And image aspect is going to be, it should be something like float, texture width, float, texture height. Well, actually, I believe that's something that they can calculate internally. So yeah, and this one if texture is not null. So it looks like we have an error. Good. It is showing it, but it's showing it behind. So we probably want to do it, show it after the button, which means we want to do it. I don't think we can have it now. I don't have that, but so and 20 maybe is a little bit too much, maybe 60. Yep. What did we say to do? Yeah. Yep. So it's cool. It looks good. Yeah. This seems to be cool. Yeah, we're showing a preview of the texture. We're generating the texture. We are going to need a few more parameters because we're gonna have other ellipses. But and also, by the way, we set it to this. It's a circle. It's a circle. Yeah, which is good. Like these, and if we change the texture width to it is even more stretched, which is good, which is probably what we want. Good. So Yep, I think we're gonna wrap it for today, and we're gonna leave it as it is. We are so next in our next video we will draw the borders. So we have these borders here, and maybe we'll draw like one border for the field ellipse, and then one or two ellipses more that are the color of the border, and that's gonna be it. Then we're gonna generate a bunch of textures, probably 4 or 5, and we're gonna be using them in these for these balls. So yep, hopefully I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and if you liked it, please hit the like button. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.